to all that has been said on this table this morning, VAT will also be slapped on banking services such as loans, check handling, foreign exchange transactions, among others. Access to credit by MSMEs, what the president promised, will it be more a tedious process, a more expensive affair? Just like the way we want to have the car tax, I'm saying let's not tax the public transport. At the same time, when we come to all these taxes, the transactional taxes that we want to put, right? Let's not tax a certain bracket, you know, of people that are in the middle class doing business, because an economy of a country is built by its middle class. That's what makes America so successful. But the president needs money. Yes, he needs money, and I still want to say, for me, school feeding program, Linda Mama, agriculture subsidies, because we're obviously going to have a lot of problems if we don't get our food security right. 1.8 billion for OP. We don't need that money right now. There's the Office of the President. Office of the President, an increase of 1.8 billion that can very well fund the feeding program. 3 billion for national security that can fund Linda Mama. 3 billion for Parliament that can fund agriculture and education, health. We need to focus on these key priorities. You can't say that these are your key priorities and you're cutting their budgets and then you're raising operational budgets of Parliament. On the banking services No, on the banking services, I want them to look at not putting the taxes on, you know, we can group it. We can say taxes on maybe businesses, right? But not on like what we provide for the funds that we provide, like WEZO, Women Enterprise, funding that is given to small businesses, right? So, but you know, this is minimal if the economy is right and people are actually doing good business. But right now the economy is not giving people good business. The chance of failing in your business are much higher in a depressed economy than in an economy where things are thriving. So for me, I think we need to find a balance. Honorable Ruko, also on the 2.5% motor vehicle tax as well, bring in the factor of, you know, a hustler. You borrow a loan, government already takes away your 16% in form of VAT. Since, of course, already there's an excise duty. So basically what you'll be doing, it's having excise duty, at the same time VAT.
Let me say this, the basic wage of many Kenyans, almost 50% of that basic wage, I'm talking about Kenyans who are earning 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30,000. Almost 50% of that goes to transport. It is painful, and that's the truth. And these studies have been done and conducted, and it shows that, and that's why we have so many. If you are coming from Ravington, you will see the number of people who are walking to Industrial. If you are coming from Kriman side, you see the number of people who are using Bagadi routes, so walking, here? Going to South Sea and Industrial and other places. Many Kenyans are walking. We have to take care of this, and we can only take care of this if we are going to improve our public transport system. And it's unfortunate that for the last 1.5 years, we have not seen the minister in charge of transport coming up with a more innovative way of getting this huge population of people to a better transport system. Bearing in mind that we are talking about 50% of a household, wage of a household, going purely to support their movement from work. 2.5% motor vehicle tax. That's why I'm coming to the issue of motor vehicle tax. So we have many Kenyans, about 87% of Kenyans who go to work, use either matatus or they walk. 47% of 87% they use matatus. So we have a huge population of about 53% who walk to work. So we have only 13% of Kenyans who use vehicles to go to work. Private vehicles? Either private or... Just for the record, and being straightforward, are you supporting the 2.5% tax? What this administration is asking is already the president has negotiated for auction, for car auction, and already has set the operations. The operations are now ongoing in Naivasha. Toyota
It's not clear yet. Are you supporting the 2.5%?
Listen, I have to make my
interest of time.
No, Chacha, you know, I have to build my case so that Kenyans can understand where I'm coming from. I can't just issue a statement without a proper argument. What I'm saying is that a president has negotiated with 2 companies. Okay.
Don't mention the brands.
No. Why not to mention? Why not to mention the companies?
They are not paid. They have not paid for advertisement.
No. It has negotiated with 2 companies. One of them is African Car Auction. And is setting up, African Car Auction, which is known as Jubo Africa Auto Auction, and setting up a shop in Naivasha. That is known. Now, Kenyans can be able to buy cars in Kenyan shilling.
So you'll buy
in Kenyan shilling and save the cost.
Be taxed.
Save the cost and time, okay? So, and the second company is already setting up an assembly. So what are we saying? We are saying there's going to be a serious, the cost of cars is going to come down.
So it's justifiable to impose the 2.5% tax.
Let me make my case, Chacha. This is very important. These are very seriously contested tax. Okay, so it is important to explain clearly what it means. Already Toyota has already signed and is setting up manufacturing plant in Thika. Okay, so the cost of buying cars in Kenya is going to reduce in a very, very big margin. What the administration, Kenya Kwanza administration, is asking is, if we have brought down the cost of cars, the cost of buying cars in Kenya in 100,000 of Kenyan shilling, why can't we pay a fraction, a small fraction, 5,000 shilling of what you used to spend by importing cars? No, Chacha, by importing cars from Japan. Why can't you be able to afford to pay 5 Kenyan shilling so that we can have better roads? Listen, Chacha, and this is very serious and very painful. Eh? My constituency, Beira North, the kilometers we have of tarmac can be counted. Very few kilometers of tarmac. We have huge taxes. We have many roads which need to be tarmac in my constituency. How am I going to get money to tarmac those roads?
I'll be getting back to
we
you
Kenyans who are able to
listen.
We Kenyans who are able to afford buying cars. What the administration is asking is, we are bringing down the cost of buying cars by thousands of Kenyan shilling.
That's not it.
Out of that, a small fraction of 5 Kenyan shilling is only what this administration is asking for, that we can be able to build our roads.
I'll be getting back to you shortly.
So that Mamamboga can be able to take his bogas to the market. Those who are using border borders can be able to use proper roads. Those who are pulling carts,
allow me to
can be able to pull carts using proper roads. We need to build our nation.
Well, Ruth, even as you touch on the 2.5% motor vehicle tax, also for the bank services such as loans, you know, the imposition now of VAT, in addition to the excise duty that has been there. Will it be so expensive to now access, let's say, loans for MSMEs for business growth, understanding that at one point they might need an injection of actually these funds to enable or to grow their businesses?
Thank you, Chacha. And listening to the debate, and actually what you'd realize that common mwananchi is being left without nothing, because if you can remember for the last few years, actually aggressively for the last 3 years, the government has aggressively borrowed from the private sector. And that is why you can see the issue, even the issues of bonds and infrastructure bonds have actually, even now they're coming to taxing the things that they've already been issuing before as incentive to common mwananchi by borrowing from retail. And what you can see is that as much as a lot of confidence has come into the bonds and treasury bonds and government securities, the common mwananchi has invested everything to the government. And the bank actually borrowing even locally has enabled or is one of the main reasons why there is not much money in circulation. Whatever is little is left the common mwananchi is being overtaxed on it, and it makes that the common mwananchi so unattractive to the banks, for the banks to offer loans to common mwananchi, because they seem, or they are deemed to be risky. So the banks will be willing to lend to the government and not to the common mwananchi. And what are the implications of that, Chacha? When there's no money in circulation, then business are not performing. The same businesses that the government want to tax and actually overtax. When the common mwananchi is not having money in circulation, it means the spurring of economic growth is not happening on the ground. I was listening on the issue while you're talking about the motor vehicle taxes. If we look at this country, the whole issue about motor vehicle is for, I can call them for few Kenyans, maybe not few Kenyans as we can say, but majority of Kenyans still don't have cars. So it's still a luxury at some point, as much as it is being viewed in this plan or in this finance bill as a necessity, you know. And looking at the common mwananchi, I just want to insist that the most, and I like the panel today is very balanced. Chacha, thanks for bringing even Honorable Pasaris in the panel today, so that we can actually even be able to focus on the issues that really matter to common mwananchi, and which are really health, education, and everything else. But on the same issue of loans and everything else, if you look at the digital platforms where most of the people borrow, actually the taxes have, from an excise perspective, have also gone up 5% beside the VAT option. The whole digitization has been, the taxman have really come into the digital space. But how is the implementation? You know, I'm really looking at the implementation matrix, and I don't know how that is going to be collected, and how much is going to be collected by that. So I feel there's still a lot to be done and reconsidered. Well, and Mwananchi perspective is at play, or is at stake.
Well, that's Ruth Kinyanjui. CPA Ruto, I'll be getting to you in regards to the banking services such as loans, check handling, etc., and how it will impact payment of school fees. But let's see what Kenyans are saying as far as this conversation is concerned this morning. That is via SMS and WhatsApp numbers on the bottom of your screens, as well on our social media platforms at K24 TV at Joel Chacha. We have them, Brenda. Masitsa saying the finance bill should also be published in Swahili for Mamboga to understand. Gabriel Wakasiaka saying finance bill 2024, William Ruto set to raid your pockets ruthlessly again. You notice adding salt to injury after the damaged finance bill 2023 due to the economy. Cost of bread to go up. Car owners will pay a new annual motor vehicle tax, mobile money transfer charges as well. Philip Etale, the finance bill 2024 is bad, so bad. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition legislators will vote no, just like they voted no to Linturi in the almost one-sided select committee. They will stand with Kenyans. Peter, if you meticulously read the finance bill 2024, knowing very well your MP will vote yes in the name of working with the president to bring you development, you will agree with me that in Kenya, we don't need a parliament at all. Honorable CPA Ruto, you'll also be handling a lot of public views, and concerns are there. Do you even take them into consideration?
Thank you so much. As Joe, we've gone this journey together. You will understand our committee is so much receptive of public views and opinions. From these proposals, there will be a lot of amendments to it in line with the members of public expression, and also in line with the objective of raising sufficient funds to finance the same budget that is going to address the needs of the people. On issues to do with taxes on finance charges, like bank charges, as you've said, this is something that is not unique, because last finance bill sought to reduce to balance off. But if you look at this finance bill, it's a trade-off, because what this finance bill has sought, especially on employment income, is trying to eliminate ambiguities or some conflicts that was causing or depleting the disposable income into the pockets of the individuals or of the earners. Like say now, look at the DSA, or what you call traveling allowance, where it was only giving a limit of 2,500. Anything above that was taxed. Now that one has been eliminated. That means on individuals or on employees sent by the employer to undertake a duty for the employment outside
that is
their
per
location.
diem, in other words.
Yes. Now they will have now, the taxable limit has been expanded. Savings, this particular finance bill has sought to address the issues of savings, because now contribution to defined benefit scheme or even a defined benefit scheme has also been reviewed way past, from the last 2005 when it was reviewed. The issues to do with transfer of transfer prices, which was not included, has now been captured, and therefore those people who used to trade outside the country, tax-haven countries, have sought to be netted. That means this burden of tax have now been lifted from the common man engine.
Because if you're going to, of course, let's say you get a loan from a SACCO meant for school fees.
I think that one is something we need to debate. There is no way you will tell me your borrowings has been taxed. I've heard you saying that the 16% is loaded on your borrowings. How? That's not your money. 16% will be value added on an item or on a traded activity, commodity, or a service, not on a borrowings. I think that one is a misconception. So I've heard you pecking on it and pecking on it again. I think something we need to see. There is no way today, my friend, you're going to borrow and then taxes is levied on that one. But what tax is excise tax is targeting on the charge by the bank, by the institution.
And now to Honorable Esther Passaris. Failure by a taxpayer to integrate items will attract a whopping 2 million fine per month. And MSMEs, small businesses, of course for the large businesses or big businesses, they've already incorporated these items. Is this not punitive?
I think it's exorbitant, but the government needs sometimes to come up with such a high tax so that people can be compliant, right? For me, I feel that we are trying to get digital in a lot of spaces, but we are also being very unrealistic. Because if you look at, for instance, when we came up with digitizing the land ministry, a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people are being swindled of their land by corrupt individuals and fraudsters. So we need to tread slowly. We assume that in every household there'll be one person who's educated, but there's also that old show who owns a parcel of land and doesn't understand about how to get digital and what digital means. All right. My own mother, who I consider pretty educated, doesn't do SMS. I've tried, mental block completely. You know, so I understand that it's tough for the older generation, and we need to protect them. And I feel that there is punishment is the old school thinking. Do you remember in the olden days, our parents hit us for everything that they wanted us to do? You know, we were being spanked with bells, you name it, anything they got their hands on, they hit us. And then we said, you know what, there's another way. There's a way that you can talk to your kids, you can counsel your kids, you can, you have to become friendly. And I think this is the approach that government has to do. You want to get to the e-teams, you've got to do the civic education, you've got to do the training, you've got to do the recruitment. I remember when KRA had its first open day, and when the judiciary had their open day. It's getting closer to the people that you're serving. So in the same way, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Just saying we're going to come up with this text, you're scaring people.
Well, Honorable Ruku, even as we wind up and give your final remarks, you talked about motor vehicles being cheaper, and that's for persons who are going to buy new vehicles. Remember, they're existing car owners.
Don't forget the principles of
Mheshimiwa, it is me. Mheshimiwa.
So that this particular issue, this tax now is trying to invoke.
Ruto, you answering
the
my
issue. Now I'll give you, because I see Jaja is trying to deviate on this one. This is invoking the issue of the principle of equity in taxes.
Honorable Ruku, for those who are going to own these vehicles, the new vehicles will be cheaper.
It is important to.
That's what you're saying.
It is important to let Kenyans know.
I'm allowing you to speak as we end up. So, for those who are buying new vehicles, you're justifying that they'll be buying them cheaply at Naivasha. But remember, not everyone would still prefer to go to Naivasha, or else you want to create more of a monopoly. Second, on KRA, of course, now being able to snoop everyone's M-Pesa details and as well bank details. Are you supporting that as we end up?
Chacha.
And for the teams as well, 2 million fine.
Chacha, I think it is good to let Kenyans know, because majority of us, we don't have this information, that you can go to Africa auction K24.net.
I'm not sure whether you are doing an advertisement.
No, I'm not. It's not my company, but it's for the benefit of Kenyans. This will save you costs. This will save you costs.
Is that creating a monopoly?
No.
So that
there
whether
is
you bought it from somewhere else.
Toyota is setting up a manufacturing company, not even auction company.
For those who are already owning these vehicles.
Chacha, if you let me make my point, then we can progress properly. And remember, Chacha, anything I've said in this show, it has come to pass. We agree, we were with you the other time about the Kenya sharing versus Dora. I told you what will happen. It's exactly what happened. Well, when we were discussing with you, it was 160. And you are telling us and telling Kenyans that it's going to be 200 bob going up. I told you it's not going to happen because the macro and microeconomic parameters were indicating otherwise. So what I'm telling you is, the indicators is that Kenyans will not be buying vehicles from Japan and other countries.
For those who already
Kenyans will be buying cars here in Kenya. They will save on cost.
For those
they
who are
will
owning
listen.
them,
they will save on cost. They will save on time.
There are already those who have
that
the
cost and
at the
time
moment.
in terms of hundreds of thousands of Kenyan shilling. That is what President William Ruto is asking. Please pay a little of that 5,000 Kenyan shilling.
For my question, Honorable. But for those,
but
who
I want to answer your
vehicles,
question. You don't allow me. I can't answer your question, Chacha, like yes or no. I need to explain
for the interest of time, we are winding up.
I need to explain from where I'm coming from.
In 30 seconds.
Chacha, the thing is, we will see, if today you can buy a car from Rockery in Naivasha. You go to their website and you buy. You don't need to order. Listen, you don't need to order. You don't need to order in a car.
Issues of excise duty.
Chacha, if you don't allow me to make my point, then what is the purpose of us being here?
Time is up.
Judge, I saw that as you close this finance bill, it's good to bring. It is good to bring to the attention.
Chacha, I think you are unfair. You are asking me a question, and you are not allowing me to answer your question.
30 seconds. Proceed.
What I'm saying is, President William Ruto is quoting one thing: the Mama Mboga, the border guys. My people in Beira North who don't have tarmac roads, they need to have tarmac roads. How do we raise money for tarmacking those roads? We only requesting small amount of money from those who are rich enough to buy cars to be able to spend their 5,000 Kenyan shilling. And this is coming as a result of making the cost of cars coming down with thousands of Kenyan shilling, hundreds of thousands of Kenyan shilling, and saving on time.
Thank you, Honorable
by
Ruto.
buying the car you need here in Kenya, Naivasha. Now, not even tomorrow, you can be able to buy the car locally here.
Thank you. Still, Honorable Ruko has not addressed my question of those already owning these vehicles. Ruth Kinyanjui, as we wind up, still on this particular motor vehicle tax, it seems to be a controversial one. And already, Kenyans who are paying 4% premium for insurance, it's a heavy task. Some of them have to pay it in installments. As we wind up, 30 seconds, Candy.
Chacha, it's unaffordable. I'm sure many Kenyans will not be able to afford. And and especially even the issue of the public, the people catering for the public, is going to be very expensive for the common mwananchi to cater for transport. Transport in this country is one of the way of actually ensuring that there is resource allocation. So if that is going to be capped, then you can be able to be sure that business is going not to be usual. The other thing also that is happening with the motor vehicle taxes, another thing that will happen is they have not even stipulated the valuation process, how that is going to happen. What Kenyans will jump into is undervaluation and under insurance. We are going to see a lot of that because it is not going to be affordable. And these are things that government need to rethink. If it's not going to be right, then it means that people are not going to be declaring right things. It's going to be a lying nation. So those are some of the consideration and reconciliations that needs to be done from the ground and from what the policies, from where the policies are made.
Thank you so much, Ruth Kinyanjui, an economist. CPA Ruto, 30 seconds as well, Honorable Pasaris.
Thank you so much. I think we've dealt much, especially on the issues of motor vehicles. It is something that is, as I've said rightly, has come at the right time because of the issues of netting, bringing on board everybody and the aspect of the principles of equity. Lastly, it's good to remind that in this particular finance bill, the issues of export levy, which give us a challenge, 17.5%, and it was putting the cost of construction high, is now proposed to be reduced to 10%. So it's also welcome. So this finance bill is the best one that is going to balance over and trade over and ensure that Kenyans are being brought to the same level.
Thank you. Honorable Passaris.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we know that Kenya Kwanza has the majority in parliament and they can have their way, all right? So what I would like to advise the president is, please, you do not need to have the 6 or 7 billion shillings that has been allocated to State House, OP, Deputy President's Office, Prime Cabinet Secretary's Office, the increase of 6 billion. Can we put that in Linda Mama? Can we put that in education? Can we put that in health? Can we put that in agriculture? Parliament as well should be able to forfeit the 3 billion that they've put in. And national security, I mean, I think that's a sensitive issue, but at the end of the day, if they can manage with the same budget that they had, let them manage so that we can also show goodwill. Labor and social protection, we're cutting even that. And we've got a lot of aging population. So I really feel that we should actually lead by example and say we're going to cut our expenses, we're going to tighten our belts so that we can serve the Mwananchi.
Quickly, Honorable Ruku.
Kenyans, the president is asking we make painful decisions. We made very painful decisions during the Finance Bill 2023, and it has paid. The economy is performing well. We have seen companies, businesses making profit, KCB, Equity, NCBA, Kenya Airways, Safaricom, and many other companies are making profit through very painful decisions. It is time for us to be able to build our nation. We can only do that by making some very painful decisions so that the future of our children can be okay.
That's the Mbeere North Member of Parliament. Honorable Esther Passaris, Nairobi County MP. Honorable CPA Julius Ruto, MP Keses. Ruth Kinyanjui, who's an economist who joined us virtually, as well as Honorable Babu Owino, who's the Embakasi East Member of Parliament. It has been a conversation on the Finance Bill 2024. My name is Joel Chacha. Be sure to join me once again tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. My name is Joel Chacha. Do have a great day.